Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Oh my goodness. So today's episode, video, etc., whatever you want to call this, is brought to you by my husband. Yeah, I asked him earlier today, I'm like, okay, what should I film today, Friday night, for Saturday's video? And he said, my sweater. Okay, if you've been around for a while, you know what I'm talking about. This is part of the self-imposed, because evidently I don't have enough stress in my life, so I like to add it just arbitrarily. So it's the self-imposed 10-gram challenge. And I am making a sweater for him using fingering weight yarn, Arcane Fiber Works, which is fabulous. No, I am not sponsored. I just love the yarn. And I'm making a sweater for him. This is my third sweater this year. After making a sweater for myself with fingering weight yarn, I got the brilliant idea to make one for my husband. He's larger than I am, and it's fingering weight on size 4s. Yeah, sometimes my sanity should be questioned when it comes to these crafting things, but he's really cute. So, you know, my opinion, he's my husband. That's how that's supposed to be, right? You should think the same about yours if you're married. And I'm working on a sweater. Well, I was sailing right along, staying on track with the 10 grams until I finished his first sleeve, and he didn't like it. He didn't like the way the colors were stacking up. Oh yeah, for people here who have never seen my channel and everything, it's still attached. It's still attached. It's still attached. Okay, this is the first sleeve that I made, and there's nothing wrong with the yarn. The yarn's gorgeous. This is Arcane Fiber Works. The colorway is Rising, or Phoenix Rising. He still has this color. Tyler is the creative dyeing genius behind Arcane Fiber Works. It's a company from Canada. I personally think the prices are quite reasonable, especially coming from Canada. It's $26 a skein, a hank. He'll send it to the United States if you get 2 or more skeins. No shipping charge. Hello, that's awesome. So this is the color my husband loves, and I'm like, okay, I will make a sweater for this. Oh, that pink line up there, that's just my stitch marker. That's how I do that. It doesn't match the body as much because, hello, it's hand-dyed yarn and it's different stitch count. Of course it's gonna look different. He doesn't like this up here. He thinks that is way too stark. So yeah. Oh, this is the cuff, charcoal. Yes, lovely. I've got a pile of arms and everything mess over here. There we go. So this is my second sleeve right here. You can see the big difference, right? You still have spirals and everything, and you still have some flashing, but it's blended, right? So it's not stark. Yeah. So this is gonna be a 3-arm sweater. Here's 2 arms. Can't use both. Look at that. Look at those together. It does not even look like the same yarn, does it? Not at all. What I did with the second one is what a lot of people recommend to do. I don't generally do it because I'm lazy. Is when you're working with hand-dyed yarns like this, you alternate your skeins of yarn, like every couple of rows. You alternate, so then you won't have that flashing as much, you won't have the pooling, you won't have all of those things. And the idea is to blend it better. That way from skein to skein, it's going to match better. Yeah, that's the idea. Like I said, I don't generally do that because I'm lazy. Yeah, but on this, he really does. I mean, you can see the difference. Look at that. It just looks like 2 completely different things. So now the goal is to get my third sleeve to match my second sleeve. I already have the body up to the underarms because it's a raglan, and then it's like all the tubes put together. So he's like, yes, do a video on my sweater. I'm like, you mean like the nub that I've got of your third sleeve? He's like, well, it's not really 3 sleeves. Yeah, I did the knitting. Trust me, it's 3 sleeves. Let's see. I got my needles all cattywampus. That's a word, right? Yeah, it is. Got my needles all kind of wonky. Okay. I have, whoa, lots of stuff in my arms. All right, so here is sleeve number 3, and I've got 3 balls of yarn in my lap. So there's this third sleeve so far. Again, that's how I do my stitch marker. I mark where I do all my increases, and it makes it so much easier when I'm coming back trying to make sure that both sleeves match each other as far as stitch numbers. Yeah, you know, so I don't have everything to worry about. Okay, so here's my 3 balls of yarn that I've got attached. Oh, I'm still attached. What is that attached to? Huh. Oh, that's attached to the body. And then that's something, I don't know. Well, that's the problem when I stack them all up like that. So are they matching? Did we see that? I don't know. All right. Here's my, ooh, okay, that's working. What do you think? Yeah, we'll see. Because right now you start at 68 stitches and then I grow stitches and, you know, then the yarn stacks on itself differently and what have you. But as long as it's not the super bright yellow, which I love, but it just doesn't match everything else, and then the super bright red, I think he'll be happy. I might as well pull this over. So this is the body of his sweater. And you can see why he didn't want it with the bright yellow right there or the other part. This really does match better. It really does. I mean, I'm not thrilled with having to make 3 sleeves, but he's going to be so much happier. He told me I'm going to be happier. Really? I'm going to be happier that I made 3 sleeves? Okay, honey, I'm going to be happier. So yeah, that's what I mean by this video is sponsored by him because he's the one that suggested do a video on my sweater. Okay, well, what that meant was I had to actually get past the cuff before I could start the filming because I didn't want to just show that I did the cuff. I'm a solid week plus behind and that's all I did was the cuff, and now I've successfully tangled these 3 partial balls. That's fantastic. I started off with 5 hanks, 5 of the Phoenix Rising fingering that my husband got for me for my birthday. And yeah, I'm really thrilled with that. All 5 of them have been wound. What you just saw right there with the 3, that's what I have left. Obviously, I'll be pulling out the entire, you know, that sleeve, my first sleeve. So I'm not going to run out of yarn at all. And I had 2 of the charcoal, and this is my first with the charcoal. And the collar treatment and everything is also going to be with the charcoal. So I'm not in danger of running out of yarn in the least. And then I'm definitely not in danger of it because hubby just placed another order for me. Yeah, you know, I think he has more of an addiction to Arcane Fiber Works yarn than I do, and I'm not really sure, but yeah, this is the largest order he has placed. It is more of the, hey honey, no, I don't need all of it. And he's like, no, I heard you on the video, you like the charcoal, which is true, because I have right now this, but he ordered more. Love the charcoal. This is just fantastic to go with almost all my other yarns, or a lot of them with the colors that I have, doing the accents, the whatever. It's just such a good blending yarn. So loving that. So he got more of that. But one of the reasons he ordered is when we went on our road trip to Nebraska, we went to 6 different yarn stores. And if you didn't see the videos, I have those where I you know, went to the 6 yarn stores and we did our own little yarn tour. Well, one of the yarn stores that I was at, actually that was the Quilter's Cottage. It wasn't even a yarn store, but they had yarn. Love it. They had Arcane Fiber Works yarn in stock on the shelves. And one of the colors that they had was Fall Feelings. They had the worsted weight yarn, and I wanted fingering weight, obviously, because, you know, that way I'm a dork like that. But the Fall Feelings, now when it first came out in Tyler's selection, I was drooling over it. But oh my goodness, there are so many that I drool over and everything that, you know, you can't have all of them. I mean, oh my gosh, there's just not going to be enough room. So I didn't get any. But when I saw it in person, I'm like, what is this colorway? You know, I'm like, yes, I want that. Well, guess what is on the last chance list? You know, oh yeah, he does retire out colors, which makes sense, right? Any business, they'll rotate in stock, what have you. And well, I mean, their stock is they hand dye it. So it is the Fall Feelings. I pull that up. Look at this. Look at that. That is the Fall Feelings right there. And it is beyond stunning. That is gorgeous. Well, it's on the going away list, right? So you either get it or you don't. That's just how that goes. So, I mean, these colors are just amazing. Yeah, if there's any of them on this page that you like, that you've been drooling over, you might want to get a move on it, because these are all on the it's going away soon list for Arcane Fiber Works. you know, Midnight Summer, that cherry blossom sold out, but that's beautiful. I've got one of the Midnight Summers, that's pretty, and that cherry blossom bloom, that one's sold out. But I mean, those are just gorgeous. So those are some of his things that are going out. And with that, me talking about it so much and seeing it in person and falling in love with it, I'm like, I would really like some of that. And then my husband, he doesn't like to just order one skein. Well, for that, he's like, what are you gonna do with one skein? Okay, you know, this is why minis confuse us, right? So I think he got a sweater quantity of that. Yeah, pretty sure. And then he threw in like lots of other stuff. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I know we got some more solids and more charcoal. I do know that. But that I think is coming next week, so I'm really excited. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess working on his sweater's probably a good idea, since I'm gonna get another influx of Arcane Fiber Works really, really soon. And I know I'm getting the fall feelings, which I'm excited to see that in the fingering weight base really soon. And if I want to see that in the larger again, one of my friends, local friends and everything, also loves Arcane Fiber Works. So I get the fingering weight and she gets the worsted and the chunky weight, right? So if I want to see the different bases, I think the only one that she doesn't get is like the DK, but because Tyler has 4 different bases, 4 weights, but she gets the larger 2, I get the smallest one. And it's really interesting to see, and not just his yarn, any yarn dyer stuff, the difference between your fingering weight base to your larger bases, because all the yarns take the dyes differently. My opinion, the fingering weight is the crispest, very crisp colors, very, very striking. But that's just my opinion. And the others just have a different look to them. They saturate different. I mean, they're all gorgeous in their own right. But I'm looking forward to that. When I get my order in, we both placed our orders around the same time period. She'll be getting hers in. We'll have to, you know, bring all of our goodies and compare notes, right? I mean, isn't that the best? I think so anyway. I mean, she was working with her, I think it was Burning Desire, very similar to the Rising Phoenix colorway. I think that one's out of stock now too, but I think similar with that, but it has more black. So she was working with that, making a hat the other day. I already finished mine. And it's just a lot of fun to play like that and to be able to have so much fun creating with all the different colors and to see how they work up. And that to me is one of the best. So my husband does support me immensely with everything that I do, with the creative endeavors, with sometimes giving ideas, sometimes being the yarn bully. Oh yes, he does. He bullies me when I'm not working on his sweater. He does. You know it's loving. You know it's loving. Yeah. He's like, hey, where's my sweater? What are you doing? Why are you working on that? What's going on? What are you making? I'm working on, as a heads up, I'm working on some hats, and I will be doing a tutorial on one of the hats that I'm working on. And I'm just trying to work up the numbers and, you know, all that other stuff to try to figure out how to make it easy, not a super long video. It's a hat, right? Just here you go, here's directions, let's go. And then trying to figure out how detailed that I want to get into it, right? I think you understand what I'm getting at on that. So working on that, he's like, that's not my sweater. That's not my sweater. So that's why he was prompting me, you should do a sweater video. Yes, you should do an update. My update's that big. That's not really an update. but he knows me. He knows, because he pushed me to do that. He knew that I would sit downstairs while something was playing on the TV, right? It's just like background noise. And I would work on it to where I got some of the color work done. I mean, that's really it. When I first started doing it and he looked at the cuff and he's like, is that cuff the same size as the other one? So I had to pull all of the sleeves out and show him, yes, it is. But I didn't have enough of the color work on it, so it really looked out of proportion because I just started. And of course I had to start it a couple of times because I didn't like the way the colors were striping the first time. If I didn't say that, what I am doing is I am using 2 balls, and I'm using one ball for one round, 1 ball for the next round. So I'm switching balls every single round. That's not something that I've been really good at doing in the past. I'll have like floats and jogs and ladders and whatever where that connection point is. So what I've done to eliminate that, and it's working for this, I don't know how it would work for bigger projects or different types of projects, is when I get to that round and that color change, I have my one center stitch and I am knitting that one with both threads and then continuing on with whatever ball that I planned on. And then when I get to that stitch again, I knit that stitch with both threads. It's right at the underarm seam right here. I don't think it's really adding a lot of bulk to it, which, okay, we're good with that. And it's just the one stitch. And it's keeping my stuff to the same gauge, which I think is really important. Well, of course that is important. And the look is not bothering me, but I'm making it work for my way of making things work. I would like to be able to do how they just twisting the yarn like this and everything, and then start with the next one and you go to the next one. You know, you're always just the yarn over like that. That's sloppy for me. I haven't mastered that yet. If you've mastered that, let me know. I know they've got jogless stripes. I know there's all sorts of things. I've not mastered that to where it consistently looks good. On my husband's last sweater, I did alternate some of the yarns, and you can see that seam in the back where I was doing that. And I don't really like that, but I left it, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? Just like be happy that it's done and it's beautiful and he likes it. So if you have some tips and tricks on that, I mean, if you've been really successful, I've watched videos and I've tried, I'm just not good at it. Maybe I just have to work at it more. I don't know, but that's what I'm doing on mine. And I'm doing what works. I'm making it work, right? I think with the crafting, we're all learning. It doesn't matter how many years you have been doing whatever the art is. For crocheting, for me, it's over 40. And for knitting, I've been saying 25 years for at least 5 years. So I'm probably hitting that 30-ish years. So I don't really know. When I really got into it, I taught myself when I was a teenager, made one project, and then set the needles down for a decade plus or so, and then got back into it when I saw a cable. Yeah, oh yeah, it was a cable sweater I wanted to make for my husband. I got into knitting then. I never made him that particular sweater, but I have made him other things, as you can see. So it really spurred that on. So I don't really know when I really started knitting, but it's been well over 25 years. So I'm still learning, right? We're all still learning. And I think that is the wonderful, glorious thing of all of this. We can get better. We can hone our skills. We can do things we never thought we could. And to me, that is what is so amazing about this craft and this community and the encouragement that we give to one another. And I greatly appreciate it. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.